The Miami Dolphins took a tough step back in 2024, and it's hard to shake the disappointment. Just a year ago, they were on the verge of grabbing the AFC's 2 seed. But this time, they missed the playoffs entirely, faltering in the season's final week. Of course, Tua Tagovailoa's injuries played a massive role in this outcome. Losing your starting quarterback for 6 games is a brutal blow. But let's not sugarcoat it. You don't end up 8-9 because of one player. The issues ran deep, and they're impossible to ignore if this team wants to turn things around. Let's start with the tight end position. Miami found some stability last offseason with the addition of Jonnu Smith, and he delivered exactly what was needed. But the problem is, Smith isn't a long-term solution. He's entering his 9th season in 2025, and his contract is down to its final year. What's the plan after that? Because the rest of the tight end group isn't cutting it. Julian Hill has been plagued by penalties that kill drives, and Durham Smythe hasn't shown the ability to make an impact. The offense could do so much more if it had a truly dynamic weapon at tight end. Imagine what this system could look like with a game-changing talent who can block and make plays downfield. It's something that has to be addressed if this team is serious about competing. Backup quarterback is another glaring issue. The decision to go with Mike White and Skylar Thompson as the options behind Tua Tagovailoa last offseason turned out to be a costly mistake. It was a roll of the dice, and it didn't pay off. When Tua was sidelined, the team struggled to stay afloat. Skylar Thompson wasn't up to the task, and then he got hurt too, leaving Miami scrambling for answers. A capable backup could have made all the difference in games like the one against Indianapolis. Just one more win might have changed their entire playoff outlook. Instead, by week 18, the team seemed resigned to its fate, especially after seeing how the rest of the AFC standings were shaking out. This offseason, they can't afford to make the same mistake. With Tua's injury history, finding a reliable veteran backup has to be a priority. On the defensive side, the line is another area that needs serious attention. Calais Campbell was a revelation in 2024, defying his age and putting together an incredible season at 38 years old. But the reality is, Campbell has been in the league for 17 seasons. Counting on him to deliver at that level again is a huge gamble, assuming he even decides to return. Beyond Campbell, the line lacks youth, depth, and consistency. Outside of Zach Sealer, there aren't many bright spots here. If the Dolphins want to improve their ability to dominate in the trenches, they'll need to invest in this area. It's not just about surviving the season, it's about building a unit that can control games for years to come. Safety is another spot where the Dolphins face tough decisions. Jordan Poyer didn't live up to expectations in 2024, and with his contract up, it seems unlikely he'll be back. Then there's Jevon Holland, who has been a standout player in Miami's secondary. But the problem is, he's likely to attract a massive contract offer, and the Dolphins might not have the cap space to keep him. Losing Holland would be a devastating blow to the defense. It leaves the team in a tough spot, needing to potentially replace both starting safeties in a single offseason. The draft could be an option, but there are no guarantees there. This is a position that needs immediate attention and a clear plan moving forward. Then there's the offensive line, specifically the interior. This has been an ongoing issue for Miami, and it was painfully obvious again in 2024. Starting Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg at guard was a decision that raised eyebrows before the season even began, and it played out exactly as expected. Neither player performed at even an average level, and it showed in the team's inability to control the line of scrimmage. Isaiah Wynn's return late in the season helped a little, but it was too little, too late. If the Dolphins want to take a step forward, this is a problem that can't be ignored any longer. Finding 2 starting caliber guards has to be one of the team's top priorities this offseason. The Miami Dolphins are at a crossroads. There's no shortage of talent on this roster, but talent alone doesn't win games. Execution matters, and that's where this team fell short in 2024. General Manager Chris Grier has a massive task ahead of him. These issues aren't going to fix themselves, and the clock is ticking. Will the Dolphins make the moves they need to finally get over the hump? Or will another season slip away with the same lingering questions? The answers are coming, but they need to come fast.